This piece is called Core. It was almost 3 in the morning when it awoke. The springs of the mattress pressed oddly into it, and it cursed them. It cursed other items as well, and turned them to seek out its timepiece. It felt a strong urge to vomit. It felt a strong urge to scream, but that was short-lived. It sat up and held its head, listening to the outer world through its window. Why is everything always yelling at me, it thought. Why doesn't what it say make any sense? The stained drywall stared back and gave no answer. Surrounding it were a dozen or so pieces of paper, either separate or open pages of notebooks, more than it could account for in its present state. How did these get here? It asked itself. It had no answer. Neither did the drywall. It thought of the previous night's events. That being too difficult a subject, it listened outside again. It faintly detected the sound of happiness, and that made it wonder. Smoldering there on its dirty mattress, burning a hole in it, there were hearts out there that could walk the street and yell at the top of their lungs with little regard. What were they saying? Did it matter? It accessed memory suddenly from so far back it seemed questionable as to its truth. But the feeling was still there, and it lived and died all over again within those Polaroids. It was also once ignorant and loud, and the contrast was beyond striking. It was also once out there on the sidewalk before it found itself locked up here and sick with itself. Why did things settle like this? Why couldn't it be as simple as blaming it on gravity? It gave careful study to the bare light bulb, the same one that burned a hole in its retinas for an average of 3 hours a night. Somehow that item found a socket, took what it needed, and lit up the world in response. Could that have been me? Looking away, the light bulb gave only green spots in answer. But it knew the answer. The answer the light bulb didn't have, the walls didn't have, the voices outside didn't have. It still had in itself. It saw that it had a darkness inside, and it shined out from it like a star. Dark like ink, dark in contrast to the whitewashed world it lived in. Dark in a way that gave meaning and contrast to that which surrounded it. It saw this and it reveled in it. It could be that ink that preserved meaning in the face of the gray and indistinct. It could shine darkness brighter than anything that was ever seen, like a cheap bare light bulb in reverse. It shuddered and looked at the silent, dull white walls all over again. Then it looked out the window once more, listening for the hearts that beat out on that sidewalk, running fugitives from light to light. It saw the next apartment it would live in after it moved out of this one. And that inky blackness, seeking the hearts and voices down below, it would live in there too. Thanks.